To our starboard side, you'll see the old grain pier and grain elevator here at NIT. That part of the terminal is no longer in use. You'll also see Pier 3 of NIT to our starboard side. South side of the pier, black and white vessel, is the U.S. naval ship Mumford Point. Mumford Point is a mobile expeditionary base designed and built to carry military cargo barges. The ship is built with ballast tanks throughout the hull so she can be ballasted up and down quickly and easily, which allows for barges to be floated on and off the ship quickly and easily. And that ship is operated by the Military Sealift Command. Once again, being the ships owned by the Navy, operated for the Navy by civilian crews. MSC ships are easily identified by gray, blue, and yellow bandings on the ship's smokestack. Coming into view on the north side of NIT Pier 3, a gray vessel named the Wright. The Wright is a 1960s era general cargo ship, part of the nation's Ready Reserve Fleet. She's operated by the Federal Maritime Administration, which is indicated by red, white, and blue bandings on that vessel's smokestack. And coming into view next on our starboard side is the highlight of our tour, Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia. Naval Station Norfolk is the world's largest naval operating base, covering an area of more than 6,000 acres on a point of land known as Sewell's Point. The base is home to over 100 surface ships and submarines, as well as a wide variety of aircraft that operate here. First ship that we'll see at the base on the south side of Pier number 1, large white vessel with red crosses on the sides and stern. This is the U.S. Naval Hospital ship Comfort. Comfort is a floating 1,000-bed hospital, complete with intensive care units and operating rooms on board. The ship will carry a medical staff of up to 1,500 personnel, depending on the type of mission she's undertaking. Most of the missions the ship is sent on are humanitarian missions, and most of the medical staff aboard is made up of United States Navy medical reservists from around the country. The ship itself was originally constructed as an oil tanker in the 1970s. In the early 80s, the ship was converted from oil tanker to the hospital ship that you see there now. The ship is just over 900 feet in length. She's about 110 feet wide and will carry a ship's crew of 90 personnel. Comfort also operated by the Military Sealift Command.
What?
On the north side of Pier number 1, ship number 196 in view. That is the U.S. naval ship Laramie. The Laramie is a Henry J. Kaiser class fleet oiler. That ship is 667 feet in length, 97 feet wide, and she'll transport 7.5 million gallons of fuel used to refuel ships at sea. To put that amount of fuel in perspective for you, if that ship was carrying unleaded gasoline, she could refuel your car about 500,000 times. Primary mission of the ship, of course, to refuel ships at sea through a process known as underway replenishment, or UNREP for short. Basically, what happens in the ocean is a ship in need of fuel would pull alongside the oiler. The oiler would then pass over cables and fuel hoses and refuel the ship while moving through the water at speeds of up to 15 knots. During the entire underway replenishment operations, the two ships must maintain the exact same speed and course so that those vessels remain quite close to one another, sometimes a distance of as little as 150 feet. Underway replenishment can last anywhere from a few hours for a small ship to more than 18 hours for a larger vessel like an aircraft carrier. Looking inshore to our starboard side, on the south side of Pier number 2, you'll see the USS Normandy, warship number 60. The Normandy is a Ticonderoga class guided missile cruiser. The Ticonderoga class cruisers were the first class of naval vessel to carry the sophisticated Aegis weapons system. The Aegis system consists of high-tech sonar, radar, communications, and computerized weaponry. Aegis-equipped ships able to track and prioritize well over 2,000 targets simultaneously. Those targets can be surface targets, submarine targets, air targets.
They didn't have those floating fences when we were there.
If you get the little call, radio message, it stops talking.
The computers associated with Aegis will determine whether the ship is tracking hostile or friendly targets. Hostile targets are automatically prioritized by the computers, and those computers will automatically select the best weaponry to deal with any type of hostile threat. That all happens quickly and effectively in only fractions of seconds. The weaponry on board the Normandy includes 2 5-inch deck guns, one on the bow of the ship and a second on her stern. She'll also be equipped with 2 phalanx close-in weapon systems for close-in defense of the ship against incoming missiles and aircraft within a 3-mile radius of the ship. That vessel will also carry torpedoes for anti-submarine warfare, and she'll be equipped with 120 missiles on board. The missile systems aboard Aegis-equipped ships are stored and deployed from vertical launch system cells, which are built into the ship's fore and aft decks. Missiles fired directly out of the deck or out of the BLS system at a rate of 1 missile every second and a half if necessary. Missile systems on board the Normandy include the Navy's standard surface-to-air missile, Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and Tomahawk cruise missiles. That ship is 567 feet in length. She's 55 feet wide and will carry a crew of 375 on board. On the south side of Pier 2, closer to the channel, ship number 44 is the USS Gunston Hall. Gunston Hall is a Whidbey Island class amphibious assault ship. You'll see her sister ship, number 46, the USS Tortuga, coming into view on the north side of Pier 2. Whidbey Island class ships are the smallest class of amphibious assault ship used by the U.S. Navy. These ships are 610 feet in length. They are 84 feet wide. Each of them carries a crew of 340, and each of these vessels will transport 400 Marines as well. These ships will carry 4 helicopters. Those helicopters operate from the flat flight deck on the rear of the ship. Beneath the ship's flight deck is the interior well deck of the vessel. That is where landing craft and hovercraft are stored and deployed from. And amphibious assault ships do not carry a wide variety of weaponry. Most of the weaponry on board the ships providing close-in defense of the vessels. And there's another ship on the north side of Pier number 2. That ship will come into view in a moment. That's another of the Ticonderoga class cruisers, and that ship is number 58, the USS Philippine Sea. Pier number 3 here at Naval Station Norfolk is the Navy's submarine pier. The Navy stations only attack subs here in Norfolk. The primary mission of an attack submarine is to seek out and destroy enemy subs. That mission is carried out by the Mark 48 torpedo. Mark 48 torpedo is a heavyweight torpedo used only on submarines, and it is the sub's primary weapon with a strike range of more than 20 nautical miles. Mark 48 will deliver more than 650 pounds of high explosives, and the torpedo can travel at more than 70 miles an hour. That submarine is also equipped for long-range land attack, carrying Tomahawk cruise missiles on board. And that vessel is nuclear powered, submarine carrying a single reactor. That reactor will provide near silent propulsion at speeds in excess of 25 knots when submerged. The reactor will function for between 15 to 20 years between refuelings. That will allow more than 1 million miles of steaming distance between refuelings for the submarine. The Los Angeles class sub, 360 feet in length, 33 feet wide. And that vessel will carry a crew of 130 on board. The construction that you'll see going on to our starboard side is building up new Pier number 3. Once the new Pier 3 is ready, the old Pier 3 will be demolished and removed. Coming into view on the south side of Pier number 4, you'll see another submarine. This is a Virginia-class fast attack sub. Virginia-class subs are a newer and slightly larger class of attack submarine than the Los Angeles class. Virginia-class subs are 373 feet in length, 33 feet wide. That submarine will carry a crew of 130 as well. She'll be equipped with Mark 48 torpedoes. She'll also carry Tomahawk cruise missiles and Harpoon anti-ship missiles. And it is a little difficult for us to tell you which sub is which here at the base. The Navy does not paint names or numbers on submarines. They just stick with that all black paint job. On the north side of Pier number 4, you'll see ship number 71. That is the Arleigh Burke class destroyer, USS Ross. And you'll see ship number 15 to our starboard side. That is the USS Billings, and she is a littoral combat ship of the Freedom class. Littoral combat ships are small, fast, highly maneuverable vessels designed and built to operate in shallow water areas such as inside bays and rivers.
There, I think it's up there.
That ship is 378 feet in length. She's about 60 feet wide. She carries a small crew of only about 38. Ships are designed to work very closely with the United States Navy SEALs. That vessel outfitted to accommodate about 100 special operators on board. And that vessel is all aluminum construction, very lightweight, capable of speeds in excess of 50 knots. Astern of the Billings, another Arleigh Burke class destroyer, that is the USS Cole. The USS Cole is the ship that was attacked by terrorists on the 12th of October, the year 2000, while the ship was being refueled in the country of Yemen. During that attack, 17 U.S. sailors aboard the Cole lost their lives. And following the attack aboard the ship, Cole was loaded aboard a heavy lift ship and brought back to the United States for repair. Repairs aboard the Cole were performed at the Ingalls Shipbuilding Yard in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Same yard that built the ship originally. Cole was returned to full active duty service midway through the summer of 2003. Now we're getting ready to pass quite a few Arleigh Burke class destroyers here at Naval Station Norfolk. Number 94 is the USS Nitsa. Astern of her, number 99, the USS Farragut. Arleigh Burke class destroyers are the second of only 2 classes of warship to carry the Aegis weapon system. That is the same system carried aboard the Ticonderoga class ships. Arleigh Burkes are quite similar to the Ticonderoga class cruisers. However, these destroyers are newer, and they are also smaller, 506 feet in length, 67 feet wide, carrying crews of 325. These ships are very capable multi-mission surface ships, carrying out anti-surface, anti-submarine, anti-air warfare, and long-range land attack. Arleigh Burke class ships are equipped with one 5-inch deck gun mounted aboard the ship's bow. 5-inch gun has an effective range of 17 nautical miles. That range can be extended to more than 70 nautical miles using specialized rocket-propelled projectiles. These ships also carry 2 Phalanx close-in weapon systems. Phalanx system is a radar-guided Gatling gun providing close-in defense of a ship against incoming missiles and aircraft. Arleigh Burkes also carry Mark 46 torpedoes for anti-submarine warfare. And these ships are equipped with 90 missiles in their vertical launch system. Missiles on board, including the Navy standard surface-to-air missile used primarily against enemy aircraft, but can be used against satellites and ballistic missiles if necessary. Arleigh Burkes also carry Harpoon anti-ship missiles, which are low-flying, sea-skimming missiles designed to fly beneath an enemy ship's radar. Arleigh Burkes also carry Tomahawk cruise missiles for long-range land attack as well. 2 more Arleigh Burkes on the south side of Pier 6. The USS Gonzales closest to us, and inshore of her, the USS Stout. We do see quite a few Arleigh Burkes at the base. The Navy plans on building more than 70 of these vessels. Price tag for a new Arleigh Burke is running at about $2.5 billion currently. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we pass the base, keep your eyes open in the water on both sides of us. Seeing quite a few dolphins swimming in the river this afternoon. Small group of dolphins just over to our starboard bow between the boat and pier number 7. Actually saw one of those dolphins in that group jump completely out of the water about a minute or two ago. On the south side of Pier 7 is the USS Gettysburg, warship number 64. Gettysburg is another of the Ticonderoga class guided missile cruisers. And on the north side of Pier 7 is ship number 7. This is the USS Robert Simonnak. Simonnak is a mobile expeditionary base designed and built to carry military cargo barges, primarily for U.S. military special operations groups like U.S. Navy SEALs and Army Green Berets. That ship carries 2 distinct decks. The lower deck of the ship is her barge deck. Simonnak, built with ballast tanks throughout the hull, allowing the ship to be ballasted up and down so barges can be loaded and unloaded by floating them on and off the ship. Her upper deck is the ship's flight deck. That vessel will be equipped with several helicopters. This helicopter is able to move equipment and personnel. Simonnak is 785 feet in length. She is very wide for a ship of her size, nearly 170 feet wide. Coming into view on the south side of Pier number 8, over to our starboard side, is the Navy's newest ship. This is the U.S. naval ship Robert F. Kennedy.
Wow.
Kennedy is a new John Lewis class fleet oiler. She is 745 feet in length, 105 feet wide. That ship carrying around 7 million gallons of fuel. And that ship is operated by the Military Sealift Command, or MSC. Most of the Navy's non-combatant ships are now operated by the Military Sealift Command. Kennedy will carry a merchant marine crew of about 125 on board.
Man,
On the north side of Pier 8, you'll see the superstructure of the U.S. naval ship Tuxet. The Tuxet is another of the Henry J. Kaiser class fleet oilers. Pier 8 is the last of the true supply piers here at Naval Station Norfolk. Over the past several decades, the Navy has been replacing older piers with new ones. There used to be several of these piers with warehouses on the pier. Pier 8, the last of those.
It's going together. Watch it.
Quite a few dolphins over to our port bow this time. Speed up just a little bit. The next several piers that will pass at Naval Station Norfolk this afternoon are all vacant. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the dolphin that you'll see swimming in the river, these are Atlantic coastal bottlenose dolphins. These are the same type that you can see off the Virginia Beach ocean front along the Chesapeake Bay as well. Not uncommon for us to see dolphin in the river this time of year. As we pass between piers 10 and 11 here at the base on our starboard side, you'll see inshore the Navy's small boat basin, where the Navy stores work barges and tugboats. The Navy no longer does any of their own towing work. All of the towing done at naval bases nowadays is provided by private companies. Here in the Hampton Roads area, the Moran Towing Company does most of the docking and undocking work for the Navy. You'll see some of those red and green Moran tugs inshore to our starboard side. On the south south side of Pier 11, ship number 195 is the U.S. naval ship Leroy Grumman, which is another Henry J. Kaiser class fleet oilers. And the next three piers that we'll pass this afternoon are piers 11, 12, and 14. There is no pier 13 here at Naval Station Norfolk. And these are the aircraft carrier piers. We'll see two of the Navy's super aircraft carriers this afternoon. The first is ship number 77 on the north side of Pier 11. Number 77 is the USS George H.W. Bush, and she is the last of the Nimitz-class super aircraft carrier. The U.S. Navy classifies any aircraft carrier in the world of over 1,000 feet in length a super carrier. The Bush is 1,092 feet in length. She is 252 feet wide, and that ship weighing in at just under 100,000 tons. That ship will carry 75 aircraft when underway. She can carry more than 100 if necessary, but the Navy puts carriers to sea with 75 aircraft on board under normal circumstances. And those aircraft are taking off, landing, and being raised and lowered to and from the flight deck at all times during the day or night, rain or shine. That much activity on the flight deck of any aircraft carrier makes being a crew member on the flight crew one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. When aircraft are taking off or being launched from a carrier, they are launched off the forward flight deck of the ship. Assisting airplanes in launch aboard the Bush are 4 steam-powered catapults. Each of the steam-powered catapults will deliver more than 90,000 pounds of pressure. And those catapults, along with an airplane's engines, can launch an aircraft from a dead stop to a speed in excess of 150 knots at a very short distance in a matter of only a few seconds. When aircraft land on the carrier, they land on the rear flight deck of the ship. Stretched across the rear flight deck of the carrier are 4 steel arresting cables. Each of the airplanes in the aircraft carrier's air wing is equipped with a tail hook. Each of the airplanes in the aircraft carrier's air wing is equipped with a tail hook designed to snag one of those arresting cables, helping to bring the aircraft to a very quick stop in a very short distance. Now, the airplane were to miss the arresting gear, it's actually not a big deal, nor is it all that uncommon. Aircraft land at full power. That's done in case the arresting gear is missed. That way the aircraft can simply take back off, circle around, and come in for another landing. And to move aircraft between the deck levels of the ship, Bush carries 4 flight elevators. A flight elevator can move an aircraft between the hangar deck and the flight deck in about 7 seconds. The ship's hangar deck is located just beneath the flight deck. With a full complement of crew, including air wing on board, the Bush is home to more than 6,000 men and women. You can think of the ship as a floating city. She has all types of things that cities have. Besides the obvious airport, ships carry movie theaters, barbershops, doctors, dentist offices, religious chapels, gyms, even a fast food restaurant that's open around the clock when the ship is underway. And that is in addition to all the galleys and mess halls carried aboard the vessel. And the Bush is nuclear powered, equipped with 2 large reactors. Those reactors provide all the electricity needed on board the ship. Most of the interior space of the carrier is air conditioned, by the way. Those reactors also provide high temperature steam from very powerful steam turbine engines aboard the ship. Those engines producing well over 200,000 horsepower, providing speed of more than 50 miles an hour for an aircraft carrier. You can just imagine a ship the size of the Empire State Building traveling along at highway speeds. On the north side of Pier 12, you'll see ship number 3. This is the USS Kearsarge. Kearsarge is a WASP-class amphibious assault ship. She's known as a landing helicopter dock, or LHD for short. WASP-class ships are about the same size as a World War II era aircraft carrier, 844 feet in length, 140 feet wide at the flight deck. That ship will carry a crew of 1,292. She'll transport more than 1,800 Marines as well. She'll carry 40 helicopters, both attack and transport helicopters. She'll also carry a wide variety of landing crafts and hovercraft stored in the ship's interior well deck. That ship will also carry 6 Harrier jump jets. If you look closely on the rear flight deck of the Kearsarge, you'll see one of the Harrier jump jets there. Harriers are fixed-wing, jet-powered aircraft which can take off and land vertically. Harriers provide tactical air support during an amphibious assault, and they are flown by pilots of the United States Marine Corps. That ship will also carry some of the Marines' new Osprey aircraft. Osprey are propeller-driven tilt-rotor aircraft that can operate like a helicopter or an airplane. In addition to all of that ship will also carry a 600-bed hospital on board, complete with intensive care units and operating rooms. Makes a ship like that very valuable to have near shore during an amphibious assault or any other combat situation. It also makes these ships very good for humanitarian efforts. The U.S. has sent ships like this one around the world in recent years, providing humanitarian aid in places like Haiti and Japan after earthquakes, islands of the South Pacific after tsunamis, and even U.S. cities like New York and New Orleans following hurricanes. And the last ship that we'll see here at the base on the north side of Pier 14, ship number 75, is the USS Harry S. Truman. Truman is another of the Nimitz-class super aircraft carriers. And the Truman is the last ship at the base. Looking out across the breakwater that marks the end of the base to our starboard side, you'll see out into the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. It's about 17 miles across the bay from this point on the open sea. Off in the distance to our starboard side, you'll see the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, part of Interstate 64, connecting the city of Norfolk on the south with Hampton, Virginia to the north. At the north opening of Hampton Roads, out to our starboard bow, you'll see Point Comfort in the distance. Point Comfort was named in 1607 by Captain Christopher Newport and the Jamestown settlers. It was just inside of Point Comfort that the 3 ships of the Jamestown expedition first set anchor in the New World after leaving England more than 3 months earlier. Located on Point Comfort nowadays is the former United States Army base called Fort Monroe. Fort Monroe operated from the very early 1800s until just a few years ago when the fort was finally closed for good. It was last used by the Army as a classroom training venue for officers. When Fort Monroe was closed, it was handed over to the National Park Service, and most of Fort Monroe is now open to the public. You'll see the buildings of downtown Hampton, Virginia. In the distance to our starboard side, located within downtown Hampton, are Hampton University and the Virginia Air and Space Museum. Located just to the north of downtown Hampton by a few miles is Langley Air Force Base.